All righty. So, first off, I just want to start by talking a little bit about last week, starting with a tough opponent like Staley. Tell me a little bit, what you learned about your team and kind of the advantages of starting with a game like that.
Well, sure, of course. I mean, being at a 6A level, is always tough. And going up to Kansas City, and they do a nice job. They have several very very good teams in that area that we have to compete against. We felt we were ready, but we knew there could be some issues that might cause us some problems, and a lot of it is just we're really really young. So not saying just like a bunch of sophomores and freshmen, but a lot of the guys that are playing for us, have never really had that experience. And then it's funny, we were talking about after the game, it's like it seemed like we had a lot of kids with deer and they look like deer in the headlights. But again, a lot of these kids, even if they did play, they didn't have a crowd, they didn't have anything like that. So it was Friday Night Lights, and there was a date Staley, I guess supposedly it was record-setting crowd. I mean, it was pretty cool. So I mean, just to be part of that. But we started the game, played well, moved the ball well. Defensively did pretty good. Put ourselves in a couple of bad spots, I think, and that's where they ended up getting their first touchdown. But we went in at half 7-3. And I thought, we were able to compete, but didn't play all that well. And then all of a sudden, I think there was about a 5-minute period. We had 3 turnovers, and one was for a pick six. And then one basically was like a scoop where they took it down to about the 15. So, all of a sudden, we put ourselves in a hole, the momentum changed, and then we were down 28 to 3. And then, but we fought back and they kept playing and we scored. I think they scored again, but again, it was just on bad field position. It's just, because we had to press. And so, of course, we weren't running what we were doing earlier in the game. But I think the biggest thing we learned is that, number one, we can't take anybody lightly. Number two, we have to work harder. And I think number three is to just understand, look, we got that out of the way. We're going to be fine. Just believe in what we're doing, keep the system, keep rolling. And I think the kids understand that. But, I don't like losing, of course, but sometimes losses are a good, a good way to teach your team. And, it's like I told them, I'm like, last year we started 4-0 and ended up 6-4. So, there, just because we started a little slow doesn't, we're going to try to finish fast. And that's kind of where we were and what I think we learned this week.
Is this kind of a game where once these younger guys start getting this game experience where you learn more the identity of this team? Do you think that'll come more throughout the season as it goes?
Yeah, and I think our identity, I think we're starting to realize our identity. I know early on we were trying some things because we kind of knew, and then we were kind of trying to stay in some of the things we had done in the past. And then, I think we realized, okay, we're going to have to make some changes, not necessarily with players, but more in kind of scheme and schematics. I think the big thing is defensively, where, we did a good job, but we gave up a lot of big plays again, and that we have to cut out. So, we're kind of adjusting now where we're going to say, you got to drive it down the field. If you're going to earn it, you're going to have to go get it, and you're going to have to, run a 12, 15 play drive. And that's kind of what we've got to do. And then offensively, like I said, in that second half, we just, when you're behind like that, you totally change your game plan. So, we talked about that as a staff that we're just going to, let's keep the game plan. Don't just freak out. We've got to get better at what we're doing. We can't panic. But I think moving forward, I think we're starting to see what our identity is. But again, injuries sometimes hurt. I mean, we'll have 3 starters out, this week. So, and then we had a kid that didn't play for us last week who finally was able to practice. And then yesterday falls and tears sprains his AC joint, his shoulder. So he's out. So, we just can't catch a break, in that sense. But that's all right. We talk about it all the time. Next man up, next man up. So, that's kind of what our identity is. And I think our young guys are starting to figure that out. So if we can just put the mental aspect together, I think physically we're there. We just gotta be able to understand what we're doing. But I think that's just our youth and experience.
You touched on the offense a little bit. Can you evaluate what you thought of Nathan Dent's performance on Friday night?
Well, I thought, he did a good job. I mean, Staley did a really nice job. They wouldn't let us go vertical. There were times they had 5 over the top, and which we couldn't do it. So we had to dink and dunk them down the field, and we did that. And we were moving the ball. Like I said, I mean, we have several drives we moved the ball. But when you get behind like you did, we were forced to have to throw a little bit more. And then, of course, trying to dink and dunk like that, when you put the ball in the air, things happen. But But like I said, I think he played well, but I definitely think he can play better. But we also have to make sure we put him in a good position to do that. And I think a few times we did it. And so, and that can affect his performance as well. But, he had a real nice run for us. I think he was like 10 for 18, but honestly, we dropped like 3 or 4 balls. And then we tried to push vertical, which they wouldn't let us do. So, that kind of hampered him, because, that kind of goes against your stats. But I think he'll be all right. I mean, I know what he's capable of. He knows what he's capable of. I think he just needs to relax, take a deep breath, not put so much pressure, and just have fun and enjoy playing football.
Well, when you look ahead to this week, SmithCotton, what do you see out of them? What are some things you're looking at?
Well, they're physical. They're big. They look like they've been in the weight room. I can see that. And again, we're young. So our guys have been in the weight room, but we're not quite there. But it's kind of like a flip of the switch, really. So what I mean by that is, like, last year, they were really young. And we had some more experienced players. We had a lot of seniors playing, which definitely showed the difference. Where this year, a lot of those young kids, have got a year under their belt. So I think that they have a little bit more confidence. And especially, going in and getting a week 1 win, I think definitely helps that cause. You usually can have good practices. The kids are buying in. And so we know they're going to be physical. We know what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to come out and get overly creative. I'm sure they got a few things up their sleeve, but they're going to come after us and they're going to try to pound on us. And we're just going to have to make sure we're playing our style and just making sure, again, if we can mentally be there, because I think that's the big thing. We had a lot of breakdowns, and if we didn't break down mentally, I mean, we could even have more success. So, there's 11 guys on the field, and if one guy doesn't know what he's doing, it's funny how the ball always finds that, so, but I think Staley's a good football team. So we're not looking past anything. We're not thinking about anything. We can't right now. We have to worry about what we're about ready to go into. But I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. And I think our kids are ready for it. We've got a great week of practice, a lot better than we've had in a while. So I think they kind of had a rude awakening. So let's just hope that continues, that they're still kind of a little upset about last Friday and take it into to tonight. So, or tomorrow night. Sorry.
You're
Sorry.
good.
I don't know what day it is.
You're good. Well, the goal is obviously always a win, but what would you say, other than getting a win, would be an attainable goal that you're hoping this team can achieve on Friday night
Sure.
with Cotton?
Sure. Well, of course, at the beginning of the year, we set goals, but one of my biggest philosophies is it's all about now. We worry about right now. We worry about today. We worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow. We don't worry about what we do. We've got to get better at what we do. And so when we set those expectations up, one of ours, kind of like a ladder pyramid, one of our first steps now is, because we joined the conference, is win the conference championship. So that's kind of our goal. So as I told them guys, we're competing for a championship tonight. This isn't like, we're, going to win it tonight, but we're competing for a championship. So we got to take care of tonight. And then as we move down the road, of course, it comes districts and then on in. But right now, we want to hang our hats on something. And if we can do that, and have that success, I think, we're going to accomplish that. But we're focused on SmithCotton. I mean, we're not playing. We haven't even really talked about, Jeff City we got next week. We're getting ready to go. And so, again, like I said, I think the biggest thing is the kids have really got to come out and they've got to get after it. I think if they do that and play like they're capable, I think we'll be fine. But if we make mistakes, anything can happen. So, but I'm just excited to be able to go out again, because football's not like any other sport. We had to wait 7 days to be able to come back out again. So it's not like we got a double header the next day, So, we've got to sit on it, and then it eats at you a little bit. But I hope it's eating at them more than it's eating at me. So, but we're excited. We're excited.
Finally getting back to the home stadium, especially after everything with last year, how good does that have to feel for you guys?
Well, we still got 24 hours, so let's hope they don't put anything and cut the numbers down to 24 hours. If they do, it's going to be a hard way to get through. No, we're excited. I think, we only have 4 home games, and, so, this is a big one. Hopefully we'll have a good fans. We get our students out, and let them enjoy it. And, we're going to have a band there, cheerleaders. So, it's just kind of one of those things that, hopefully, it can feel a little like, something real, something's good. And so hopefully we continue to do that. But, like I said, I mean, There shouldn't be any shock when the lights come on, because I'll tell you, last Friday it was pretty cool environment. It was fun to see, all those people out in the stands. So, but I'm hoping we're gonna have a good turnout, and hopefully we can put on a good show, and then we'll move on and we'll sit for another 7 days and get ready to go. So
sounds good. Well, I appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck tomorrow night.
awesome, thank you, and I apologize again about everything. So.
No, you're good. No worries at all. Have a good one.
All right, you too, Natalie. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye.
All right, bye.